All right, we are going live, right? Live. Awesome. Seems like we are here. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here with you today, and we are going to be talking about 3 reasons that you're not staying consistent in your business as a faith-driven entrepreneur. This is one thing that I know. I know that God has provided everything you need to stay consistent in your business. And this is another thing that I know. And you know this, right? You know He's called you, and I know He has equipped you, and I know that He's placed in front of you exactly what you need to succeed. So if you're here with me today, I want you to tell me, say hello in the chat. It would be awesome. And that's what we're going to talk about, because you also know that consistency is important for you to be successful, right? So let me ask you this, and this is really important. What can consistency really look like for you based on where you are right now, the stage of life you are right now, or the other distractions that are getting in the way, or the things that you're doing productive activities in your business, or are you doing just busy things? So I want to talk about that with you today. What is it that you are doing that's really keeping you from staying consistent in your business? If you're here with me on the replay or here live, consistency is what I'd love you to put into the chat so we can see who's here. I'm going to also give you a solution that may be easier than you think, so that you can be motivated to stay consistent. So that's where we're going today. Hi, I'm DeneenTB, your Christian business growth strategist and clarity coach. And I want to thank you so much for joining me here. And I always like to say, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you haven't, ring the bell so you know when I go live. Every other week we have a podcast, longer form, and then every opposite week of our podcast video longer form, we have this shorter, just the blog, but kind of me bringing you the blog. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite things, which is consistency. And I know that you might be cringing right now, but stay with me. Just stay with me. All right, let's look at first how your stage of life really affects your consistency. You can stay consistent in your business if you first know how much you can really do right now. It's very different, because when I had younger kids, there was a lot less time to be consistent in my business. So I actually chose a business that came very easy to me. That was teaching, because I'm a trained teacher. And so I created a program in order to teach Spanish a few hours a week. And it was pretty nice, because people pay for that kind of expertise. But as my children became more independent, I started to branch out and have more classes with Spanish. And I even started dabbling in a direct selling company for a while. And I actually did well, because I had the time to be more consistent. We can't get down on ourselves when we don't have the time. We have other responsibilities, other things that are required of us, especially when our children are young. And so doing those things are important. So doing all the things that were required for my parties and my selling my products, I could do because my children were getting a little bit more independent. And of course, as you know, as children grow, you have more and more time opened to you because the other responsibilities loosen, right? And I was able to step into more and more of what God had for me. And I hope that you aren't frustrated right now, that you can see that there is hope once you're in a different stage of life. So actually what I did was I turned my customers in my direct selling business into clients. And I did that by having a networking membership group. and I went into coaching from there. Yes, I left behind the teaching, and I just shifted. God just brought me to the next thing that really He had equipped me to do. So it's really staying aligned with God, right? During all those years of growing my business, I was learning new things. I was taking those pivots, right? And I was stepping into new opportunities. And there was really one thing that I could count on to stay consistent. It was my routine. That was my consistency in whatever I was doing. And so my routine changed as it needed to. So let's talk about planning and tracking your progress. You see, consistency is not about obtaining those quick results. We'd love that, but that's not what it's about. It is about making that incremental progress, the improvements over time. So how long have you been working at creating a following, writing your content, or developing your products and services? Are you being patient? Are you staying consistent to see the results? This actually requires us to keep track of the progress that we're making by actually logging it. I keep a gratitude journal. I record one thing each day that I can be grateful for, like the new learning that I had today, or the opportunity that really did help me move forward, or just the fact that I completed what I said I was going to complete, and I can just check it off for the day. No matter what it is, recording this in some way is really important, because consistency requires commitment on your part. You must commit to that sustained effort and action over time. So what does that look like for your day-to-day? Well, my question is this: do you have a plan? Whether you are writing out your next day plan the night before or planning for a whole week at a time, you need to have a plan. You need to write it out and get yourself a planner that works for you and use it, because that sustained effort and action can only happen when you actually have actions to do. I hope that makes sense. Your business can only move forward if you're committed to taking the action necessary to move it. Okay? So the second thing we're going to talk about is how all these good distractions really affect your consistency. Really, the second thing that does affect it are all these distractions, even those good ones. I know the enemy is really good at saying, this is good, you should go do it. This is good, you should go do it. And it's really distracting you from the better that God has for you. So to be more consistent means that you've got to take away the busy from your life, that it's not helping you to be productive, so that you can have more focus. This is what I observed with my clients and with many women that are trying to have a God-centered business. They're just doing too much too soon, thinking that their business needs to look like some other person's business like that right away. God's provided something specific for you, and He's using your business to grow and shape your character. And sometimes it is slow, and I'll admit, painful. There is so much to learn, and we need to be patient. Having a God-centered business should be, or is, a cause for joy. We know that we're in His calling, and we're doing something that allows us to take care of our families without sacrificing that connection to them. I think that's important. We need to make sure we aren't doing things that really sabotage that thing that we're trying to do to help our families. So I have this methodology, and I think to myself, what is required of me today? Because that's the number one priority. You have to feed your family. You might have to drive your kids around. You have to take care of the household. You have to take care of you physically, spiritually, mentally, right? Write that out and then block it out in your day. Then determine how much time is left. That is the time that you have to spend on your business. So look at your schedule, write it out. What are you doing that is not required of you? What is taking your time, your creativity, and what that you could be using on your business? You've got to let something go. Can you let something go? I like to say it this way, get it off your plate. That's what I like to say. If you're here with me live, make sure you let me know. I love to see some chats and love to know what's going on with you. Okay, when I started to really work seriously in my business, I had to let go of so many volunteer activities that I was doing. I was tutoring, I was on committees, I was seated, I was like the boss of them, right? I had other church responsibilities. And okay, I'm not telling you to quit church, okay? Just think through everything that you might be doing at your child's school, in your community, and at your church. Just because you can do it does not mean you must do it. I'm going to say that again. Just because you're good at it, you can do it. Doesn't mean that you must do it. You have to do it. Really, it's about focusing and recognizing your progress in your business. So consistency means understanding that the greatest power lies in your present moment. So what you decide to do right now, it means that you're staying diligent on top of the task at hand without losing focus, right? We've got to get rid of those other things because procrastination is the enemy of consistency. So staying present in the moment means that you have planned for that moment. Know that what you want to do in the moment and do those actions to complete it in the moment. You know, consistency is also not about just repeating the same actions for the sake of getting all those things done. That's insanity, right? Oh, tick it all off and it's all done. Again, we have to remember it's about progress, the learning, the growing, the adapting our actions so that it leads to those incremental improvements. Now, I've said this before, as an entrepreneur and a business owner, you must always be learning and adapting. It's part of the entrepreneurial life. There is no sure thing when it comes to business. No one thing, once you find that little secret, that's going to make your business perfect. It's actually in all those little things that you do daily where you're going to see that progress. It's in facing the day with courage that you will see success. My best way to start the day, obviously, is by sitting with God and with my journal. Everything goes into my journal. My prayers, my ideas, my lists, my verses, everything in chronological order. It is a great way to have focus on each day, to take in new information and synthesize it into your business by asking God for wisdom, discernment. I love that my journal has a record of the progress that I'm making, and I can look back at it and see what God is doing in me and in my business. And so it may not be the beginning of your day, it might be in the afternoon time or in the evening. Give your best time of day to God. That's really what's important. Okay, we're going to talk about the third thing, is how productive activities affect consistency. Now, I said it. The third thing that's going to provide consistency is to do the things in your business that truly move you forward, not just busy work, right? If this creates momentum and it motivates you to be more consistent. I've had some types of different businesses for the last almost 30 years. I started, like I said, with wanting to stay home with my littles. Followed me through homeschooling, still had a business, and then took off like crazy after the kids went to college. Every step of the way, consistency looked a little different. It also created for me the urgency to do only those things that would help me make that progress. I didn't want to be stuck in all those, quote, busy things that make you look like you're productive, but you're not really getting anywhere. I really wanted each action to be productive actions. So in this day, with all those things that are available to us in automation and social reach for free and the online positioning, it can all be easy, but it can also be very overwhelming, and to know what is the most productive activities, what are they that I can do? So I want you to think, what would give me the greatest return on my investment of time and energy? Okay, think about that. These are activities that are important to the success of your business. Now, if God is calling you, then you need to be doing something that moves you forward. So activities that would build relationships, right? Activities around creating content and putting it out there so that people can become aware of who you are and know what you do and consider your solution. Those are the three things that are first on your list, not how beautiful is my website, not how this or that. You want to be growing that email list. You want to be out there letting people know who you are and what you do. Again, you only need to do what you can. So think about what types of things are possible with your schedule that's going to build those relationships, create the content that let people know who you are and why you can help them. Break it down, these bigger activities, really into tasks that can be accomplished in a shorter amount of time. I love taking my planning down to 15-minute activities, right? Think about it. You know, I have this list of things that I know I can get done in 15 minutes. Things like answering and sending a few DMs. Creating a post on Canva, or saying happy birthday to everyone in my Facebook group, and my Facebook friends, and in my LinkedIn friends and group, or connections, we call them over there. I even do this for my housework. I know how much I can get vacuumed in 15 minutes, or what rooms I can straighten up in 15 minutes. What about you? Let me know in the comments. How do you break down these tasks into smaller and smaller tasks? Let me know in the comments. And thanks for being here if you're here with me live. So don't forget, there's also those little pockets of time when, especially for us as parents with children in school, when we're waiting. What can you do for your business in those waiting times of your day? Maybe it's the carpool lane. Maybe it's the doctor's office. Maybe it's just any kind of thing where you're waiting. You know, the reward of this type of thinking and planning is that you begin to see the progress that you're making. You actually do. I always love being able to check off all those things I've written down. It makes me happy, and I hope it makes you happy too. Really building habits and a routine for your progress. Again, consistency is about building those small, empowering habits and rituals that you perform every day that keep you focused on your highest priorities, your highest goals. Do you have a way to create habits in your life you know will make you successful? So sorry. I guess there's some kind of construction going on, so if you hear it, I apologize. Okay, so do you have a way of making those habits? Habits like blocking time each day for getting things done in your business, whether it's those 15-minute slots or you have a chunk of 2 hours. What do you have? Do you have a habit for writing an appointment in your planner for your Bible study and your prayer time so your soul is refreshed? Do you have a habit of developing more personal health care, making sure you're getting proper sleep, proper nutrition, proper exercise? These are all habits you can build into your day. It gives you stamina to stay consistent and to do the things that God is calling you to do. So remember, it is your routine, not what somebody else told you. I've never been a fan of the 5 o'clock club or any of those kind of things. You can only be consistent if you approach your routine with intentionality. And I'll be honest here. I live for my routine. I am a person who is consistent because I have a very predictable day. Now, you may not have that, but you can create a better routine, one that is right for you. Give yourself time to figure it all out so that you will be consistent in your daily routine and find your best way to operate. Okay, so yes, routine is the solution, creating your perfect routine. So I want to get to the point of how can a community affect your consistency, Okay, so now you've got your routine, but how can a community affect your consistency? Because all of that is just the beginning, having that routine. What really helps you stay consistent in your business is having other people around you that lift you up, that give you ideas, that make you accountable and provide community. So let me ask you a few questions. Do you have people in your life that hold you accountable for the daily choices that you make in your faith and in your business? If you want to answer in the comments, you can. Are you looking for a place where you can work on staying consistent in your business as you grow it? Do you have that? And are you feeling alone, a little bit overwhelmed, and know that you could do better if you had someone to ask about your routine? If you said yes to these, if you said, I think so, or that would be better, then I would love for you to know more about the Calling Clarity course and community. It can really help you figure out your best way to operate your business right now, where you are right now in life, and grow with you in the future as it opens up more for you. Now, I'd love for you to make an appointment to chat with me. I'll put all those links in the description. All the links are in the description, sorry. So make sure that you check them out. And let's make that appointment. Let's have that chat so that we can see how we can work together to help you with the routine that is right for you and a community that can help keep you accountable and give you motivation. I love what Colossians 1:11 says. Paul says here, we pray that you will be strengthened with all his glorious power so you will have all the endurance and patience you need. May you be filled with joy. You know what? That's my prayer for you too. You know, God is calling you to be consistent in all that you do, to grow your endurance, to grow as you grow your business. He's changing you. He's transforming you. Find your way to have that perfect God-centered business and to do what he's calling you to do by being consistent. As I said, I'll put that link down in the description for you. It is in the description. And to make that appointment to chat with me. I'd love to know more about what is God calling you to do and to see if I'm the person that can help you do it more consistently so you can see that incremental progress. This is DeneenTB. If you're here with me live, thanks. If you are on the replay, let me know. Make sure to like and comment on the video. What did you find helpful? Let me know. Also, hit that subscribe button. I know the algorithm's gonna love it. Share this if you want. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, be filled to overflowing.